I was also in Mexico this year. I went to Mexico. I crashed a scooter in Mexico. I don't know if anyone's ever done that with their lives. Yep. Crashed a scooter. I don't know if you can tell by looking at me. I'm not a scooter riding aficionado. I don't have the balance. I can't do it. But I made a new friend. You ever make a new friend and they have a suggestion and you don't want to seem lame, so you go along with it? He was like, hey, you want to rent some scooters? I'm like, I love scooters. That sounds amazing. I was going to do that anyway, but you brought it up. Absolutely. Let's get after that. Because I like to be adventurous when I travel. Like, I rented jet skis once, and I was nervous, but they had a whole, like, training seminar. They had a video that we watched, a whole tutorial how to ride jet skis, and they had all this safety gear, and then we went around some buoys first to get our bearings, and then we had some fun. And that's not how this went at all. We just went to a shack, and there was a tiny Mexican man with keys, and that was it. He just shoved me off into traffic. That was the whole thing. I was there, I was wearing little swim shorts, because those are back in style. So I'm just there, in little shorts, a helmet that doesn't fit. Every time I hit wind, it just flew to the back of my head. And I'm just there in downtown rush hour, Cozumel, Mexico traffic. And I knew I was gonna crash. You ever know something bad's gonna happen? I knew it. I'm like, I'm gonna crash this thing. I just don't know when exactly. It was like a horror movie. I'm like, I know something's gonna jump out, but when? So yeah, I crashed it. I wish I could tell you I crashed it for a good reason. I wish I could tell you I got cut off by a bread truck or something. No, I crashed because I was making a right-hand turn. And halfway into the turn, I realized I don't know how to make a right-hand turn. So I hit a curb doing about 20 miles an hour. And I slid into the street, but smashed one half of the bike. I'm in the street. I'm being heckled by the locals. I just heard Pinchy Gringo over and over again. I don't know if you've ever been heckled while you're injured. It doesn't help. And I'm bleeding, and I went to go pick up the bike to get it out of the street because there's traffic coming. And I picked it up by the handlebars. Now, I don't know if you guys know how motorcycles work, but right on the handlebars, that's the go-go button right there. That is the zippity and doo-dah of the motorcycle experience. Which, by the way, can I say, what a piss-poor design that is. How about some pedals next time? How about something away from the area where I gotta pick it up from? So I went to go pick it up, my hand hit the throttle, this thing shot out of my hands, went down half the block, smashed the other side. I destroyed this scooter. There was no plastic left on it. All of it gone, mirrors gone. I didn't even ride it back to the rental shack. I walked it back. And the little Mexican man who's standing there, I show up, I'm bleeding, his bike's trash, and he just looks at me and goes, what happened? I'm like, what do you mean? Why didn't you have a tutorial video? Or I could have used a couple laps around an empty parking lot. Or you just shoved me. You knew this was gonna happen. Anyway, I turned a $20 scooter rental into a $500 credit card charge. It was pretty awesome. I was actually happy it was only $500 because I didn't find that out until I got home and checked my statement. Because all he told me is like, it's gonna be 10,000 pesos. And I'm like, that could be $1, that could be $1 million. I have no idea. I don't keep international exchange rates in my head. I don't wake up and enjoy my coffee while watching CNBC, seeing the markets. How's the peso doing today? He's just like, it's gonna be 10,000 pesos. And I was like, all right. And I just handed over my credit card. I'm like, this might be the last time I ever get to do this. I guess swipe that. This could be a historic day. The worst part of this whole excursion is I crashed the scooter my last day in Mexico. So I had to go straight to the airport. I don't know if anyone here has ever gone to the airport bleeding before. It's not the way you want to go. So I hopped into a cab to go to the airport. I'm all banged up, bleeding from everywhere. And the cab driver turns around, sees me, and goes, would you rent a scooter? Oh, so I'm not the only one. All right. That actually made me feel better. The only good part was, like, I had flown out of this airport before, and I was like, I knew they had a good pharmacy at the airport, one of those good Mexican pharmacies, where they got all the drugs, you know? Yeah. You know what they didn't have? Band-Aids. Hilariously enough, the best and worst pharmacy of all time. They had all the drugs. I kept asking, like, do you have Band-Aids? She said, oh, no, senor. And she just kept pointing at the Viagra. I'm like, that's the last thing I need. Are you serious? I'm about to get on a plane. No one wants to sit next to that guy. The guy who's just bleeding and super excited about it. Like, hop on in, I got stories. No one wants that. The only thing I can think of is she was trying to help me. She was trying to help. She's like, listen, I don't have Band-Aids, but I do have a pill that will concentrate all of your blood to one specific area. That might stop the bleeding.